Hey guys, this is Brian. I'm back with a new video tonight, and I'm going to update you guys on how my week is going and my preparation for the Naples Half Marathon on Sunday, and also review my last video from 2 days ago about my age group world ranking. So yeah, this is going to be all about the age group world ranking and upcoming race this Sunday, and a couple other races on my calendar coming up, so you guys can be aware of what I'm competing in, what I'm excited about, who I'm training with, the workouts I'm doing, keep you updated on my progress and on developments in Miami for the running community. So yeah, let's talk about Abbot World Marathon Majors. I'm on the screen right now. My age group world ranking for the marathon. For a male, they start ranking you once you're 40 years old. Once you're 40 or over, you're called a master's runner in road racing. And once you're 40 and over, you get a world ranking. I don't know why they don't do it before 40, but I think it's because the age group before then is 18 to 39 years old, because that's what Boston and other world majors, that's what they do for the age groups before you get into the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. So I think that it's a new category in the last 5 years. And male 40 to 44, I am ranked 19th globally. So that's a huge honor. I'm in the top 20. I think my actual rank is 17, and I'm tied for it 3 ways. So I'm tied with 3 people for 17th place, but it gave me, regardless, I'm in the top 20 in the world in my age group in the marathon for males. So it's a huge honor. Literally out of tens of thousands of people, you need 2 marathons to qualify. My 2 were Boston and California International Marathon. I went over this in my last video, but I got 7,560 points total out of 2 races, and that would be the maximum you can get would be 8,000 points. It says my country ranking is 33, but that's in all age groups. So I believe that includes even people older than me who might be faster than me, because when I got the original email, it said that I was ranked 5th in the US. So in my age group, I'm ranked 5th in the US and 17th and 19th globally. So yeah, top 5 in the US apparently in my age group, according to the email I recently got from Wanda Age Group World Rankings in the Abbot World Marathon Majors Series for 2021 and going into 2022. I had a result from October 11th from Boston, and December 5th from California International, where I was 20 seconds off my PR with a 2:31:38. So let's go and just take a little closer look at it. Here it has both of my races. California International, I got 3880 points. Boston, I got 3680. What's interesting is I looked up some other races in the past, and I got as low as 3,200 points for running a bit slower at Boston. So your time matters, your position matters. I was 9th in my age group in Boston. I was 4th in my age group at California International. 122nd versus 142nd place. Nationality position, that's interesting. Boston, I was 8th. California, I was 4th. That must be as a master, and that's what my age group finish was 4th. I was 4th master. So anyways, let's go down here and other results. I found some other data I wanted to show you guys. World ranking 19th, and you can see the other people by going down here, and I believe I listed it as 50 people. Yep, I did. Okay, so you can see the top 50 right now. So the top athlete has, let me see if I can hide this sideboard. And they're way here. I think you got to click on. Now you got to zoom in. Okay, you got to zoom in. Your 6-star activity. This is good too because it shows me all of my marathons for my 6 stars of world majors. I've run in a bunch of marathons going back to 2010 that are listed. April 2010 Boston Marathon, November 2010 New York City, October 2012 Bank of America Chicago. So I ran Chicago, Boston, New York. I ran Chicago like 6 times. I've run Boston like 8 times. Those are races I fell in love with. I ran Berlin twice. I ran Boston a whole bunch of times, and Chicago a whole bunch of times. My ranking activity, I have no virtual activity, but my ranking activity, this was once I turned 40 years old. So as of 2019, I was 40 years old. Right now I'm 43 and 1 month exactly about. So I'm in 2019, I turned 40, and when I ran Boston that year, I got a ranking, or I didn't get a ranking, I got points. So check it out. I got 3,250 points, and that was on a 256. That was not a good race for me. That same year, I went on to run in December California International in a PR of 2:31:16 and got 3,890 points. Now that's out of a possible 4,000 total points. So overall position was 192nd. Yet this year I ran slower by 20 seconds. I got 122nd place. So wow, this year was a stacked field. I got 192nd overall and 190th in my gender, which means there was 2 women ahead of me. And this year the winning woman ran 2:26, and I think there was 3 women ahead of me this year. Anyways, the year that I just ran it was a very fast year, and this year was also fast. So let's go up. Boston of this year, we already saw I ran 2:34. I got 36:80. So look, 38:90. That's 210 more points right there for this time versus this time. So 3.5 minutes in difference. Boston versus California. You can see I got 38.90 this year, and 2 years ago I got 38.90. So I got 10 more points 2 years ago. When I ran 20 seconds faster, I got 10 more points. You basically have to either win the race or run like sub 2:20 to get 4,000 points at Masters age. Okay, so that shows you my activity and rankings. I just want to show you really quickly the other men ahead of me. We looked at this the other night in depth, but you can see all the men and women and their ranking. You can look up anyone who's run 2 marathons or more that are listed as Abbot World Marathon Major qualifying marathons, not actual world majors. World majors count towards the 6-star rankings and the 6-star program, but when you're talking about a world ranking, they're looking for a certified course. They're looking for a, like California International Marathon is not a world major, but it's a certified legit course. Same thing with Houston. All the big city marathons that you can think of in the U.S. are going to qualify for the most part. If I show you some of the rankings in here, I'm under males. Let me make sure that I put 50, the top 50 in the world, and I am number 19, which is pretty cool. Let's see, trying to keep my ego in check, but it's a pretty cool thing to be number 19 in the world. That's top 20. Let's see if I can make it just a little bit smaller. Nope, it won't let me. Okay, so that's weird. I can't get my screen's resolution to look right now, but the gentleman from Kenya, Isaiah Kosgei, got 8,000 points in 2 races. We looked at him the other day. He ran Sparkasse Marathon, which sounds like a smaller one, and won it. And then Vienna City, he got 12th place with a 2:25 and a 2:19 in the race he won. There's a weighting system between if you won the race, is it a big race, is it a small race? If it was a huge race like Berlin, did you get top 10? And you're 40 and over, well, then you might be getting 4,000 points. He got 12th place in this Vienna City Marathon. He got 4,000 points with a 6 minutes slower time than when he won a marathon. So there's a lot of dynamics and factors. Japan, we looked at this the other day. The guy ran like a 2:16 and a 2:19, and he's listed as number 2, but they both have 8,000. I think they're tied for first place. 2:16 and 2:21. He should be ahead of this other gentleman, I think. But they gave them 4,000 points for each race. Italy, I don't know the name of this country right here. Slovakia, Spain, USA is number. Now where are we at now here? Let's see if I can move this screen over here. It's hard to. Oh no, I did this the other day on me too. Oh, still haven't fixed that issue on my computer where it scoots you back a page if you're trying to slide it. It's a bad feature that's turned on. Okay, under men. Top 50. John Hitter is number 8. Let's see how many are ahead of me. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. John Hitter's number 8. Nicholas Brown from New Zealand is 9. Ewan Sinclair is 10 from New Zealand. Number 11 is a gentleman from Japan, Hideo Nojo. And you can go in and find out all these guys' ages if you want to. Harsha Thuromurthy is 12th. 13th is Luca from Italy. 13th, Imo Mueller from Netherlands. 14th, Jeremiah Estes from the U.S. 15th, Andrew Skirka from the U.S. 16, Ewan Cameron from Great Britain. 17, Alvaro Mora or Alvaro Montoya Mora, 17, 16 or 17, 18. Now here's where we have the tie. For 18th place, we have a 4-way tie. So 4 of us are tied with the same amount of points for 19th place technically, but it could be 18th too. It depends on how there's 18 people ahead of us. And we're tied with 60 points. So it's a 4-way tie for 18th or 19th place. The tie is between Hung Hao Henry Chong from HKG. Where is HKG? HKG country. Hong Kong, Chinese Special Administrative Region. Okay, so he's from Hong Kong. So we'll look up his times. Andrew Day from Australia, Brian Hiberty, and Yoshiyuki Ono from Japan. So wow, I'm tied with 3 other people from around the world. This guy the guy from Hong Kong, Hung Chang, ran a 2:41 and a 2:40. So we looked at this the other day, Chicago and Philadelphia. It doesn't make sense. The only way that could make sense to me is if he's older, but he's in the same category as me, 40 to 44. Because Chicago's the same caliber as Boston, and I ran 7 minutes faster than him, almost 6.5. I ran 6.5 minutes faster than him in Boston than he ran in Chicago. And in Philly, he ran a 2:40. I ran a 2:31, so I ran 9 minutes faster than him. But apparently, he got the points add up, so maybe they do a different point ranking for different races. But this is where I started to question the other day how good these rankings are. I mean, I think they're good based on a point system, but based on logic, looks like for instance, I'm faster than that person and this person who I'm tied with, 2:34 and 2:39. I have a 2:34 and a 2:31. This person ran Brisbane and Sunshine. I'm sure an amazing first-class Masters runner, by the way. 4th overall in the Brisbane Marathon in 2:34. I mean, that's no slouch. 8th overall in the Sunshine Coast Marathon, 2:39. So these are high-ranking positions that might have gotten him more points than his time got him. If you're going purely on time, I think there would be a slightly different ranking. Let's look at mine real quick. You already saw mine. My top 2 rankings are 2:31 and 2:34. I got, and there's the big races. Boston and California International, which is one of the biggest races in the U.S. And then this 4th gentleman, let's look at his times. Yoshiyuki Ono ran a 2:25 and a 2:38. Lake Biwa, which is in, I believe, Africa, Manichi Marathon. This is a big one. Lake Biwa. Let's look that one up. I don't want to keep guessing. Lake Biwa Marathon. I'm sorry, it's in Japan. I'm super off on that. No wonder, the guy's Japanese, of course. Lake Biwa Manichi Marathon is a marathon race held in Atsu, Shiga, Japan. It was one of the prominent marathons in Japan. It was a male-only competition and had IAAF gold label status. It was first held in 1946 and has taken place every year since then. It is Japan's oldest annual marathon race. The date of the race is early March. Course record is 2:04:56 from 2021, Kengo Suzuki. So 2:04:56 is the course record, and it's in Japan, and it's the oldest race in Japan ever from 1946, and it is IAAF gold label status, which is what I mean when you have to be in a race that's very well organized and respected. So that gentleman ran at 2:25, Yoshiyuki, in that race. For 251 overall. So that just shows you how competitive that race is. 251st place. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being 251st place and running a 2:25:21? That's ungodly. And then he ran in another marathon called Kanazawa Marathon, 2:38:41 for 100th overall. Okay, so he ran a 2:38 and a 2:25, and he's tied with me. He would have a right to say that he's faster than me. He's run 6 minutes faster than me, almost 6 minutes faster than me, and he's tied with me because there's other times at 2:38. So, but he got 251st place in a world-class marathon with a 2:25. That's insane. So guys, you can go through this in depth and look at all these amazing Masters runners. You can go through and look at the top females. We didn't do that the other day, but if you go down here and click on females, guess who's number 1? Shalane Flanagan. Spoiler alert. Oh, oh, I'm sorry. She's second. Whoa, I'm wrong. Hannah Lindholm, is first place from Sweden with 8,000 points. And Shalane Flanagan, who ran all the Masters, all the World Majors, she got a 4,000. Wow. How did she get 4,000 points for running at 246 in Chicago? I mean, that's a good time, and then Berlin 238, but she ran New York in like 231, I thought. She also ran Chicago, and she ran a virtual in Tokyo. So she ran like 7 marathons this fall, or 6. I guess she ran 6, the 6 gold stars, the 6-star world majors. Okay, so Shalane is second place right now with an almost perfect score, 78.90. I guess she missed it by 110 points. And then the woman who's in first place ran a 231 and a 232 in Milano and Stockholm. Gender position of 4th in Stockholm and 16th in Milano. And she got a perfect score in both those races, Hannah Lindholm. Okay, so this is how they do the rankings. I have to defer to the World Marathon, Abbot World Marathon Majors, Wanda statisticians. You can see the top women here. You can look up anyone that you might know who's run at least 2 good marathons. Ana Villegas, I think that's my friend. Wow, look at that, from Miami. Very cool. So Ana Villegas is in the top 20. She's number 16 globally. Look at that, with a 248 and a 302. First place in the Cleveland for the women. First place woman in the Cleveland Marathon got her almost a perfect score, 39.40, and then she got 32.90. So anything above 36, you're going to get a really strong score for. Anything above 3,600 points is a good score, but when you start getting into 38 and 39s, it's because she won the race. So shout out to Ana Villegas. She runs with iRun. That's a very good ranking right there. She's 16th ranked in the globe right now. She's also a Masters runner. I believe she just turned 40 recently about. So, okay, guys, that's the World Marathon Majors. Quickly, I'll just show you my Athlinks before we go into Naples. You can follow me on Athlinks. You can follow me on Garmin Connect. I'm also on Strava, but I don't ever sign in. It just picks up my Garmin data. But you can follow me on Garmin and also on Instagram, YouTube, obviously, and Garmin and Athlinks. Okay, wherever you want, you can probably find me. But just send me an old school email or text message or whatever. Direct message on Instagram, and you can ask me anything, and I'll be happy to make a video and explain my philosophies or my opinions on any topic in the running world, as I consider myself an avid and lifelong runner, and I've been competing at a very high level, sub-elite to elite level as a professional. I can say that because I've actually made quite a bit of money now running. I've made over $5,000, in my life running, and that's not a lot, but it's at least something. And when you win 600 here, 1,000 there, 500 here, 300 there, you're winning money, and you pay taxes on it, and it's all part of an experience. And when you win money, you're a professional. So once you start accepting any money, you are no longer amateur, you are professional. So that's a good thing for kids to remember. If they're competing in college or in high school, they should not accept money generally, and you'd have to defer to the experts. But let's take a look at my Athlinks page here. This is actually a picture from the Naples Half Marathon a couple of years ago. This picture is me after the Naples Half that day, and I think I ran a 114 flat that day. But my best marathon's 2:31:16 from California International. My best half is 1:10:52 from actually about 7 years ago, 6.5. But I've raced 174 races on Athlinks, but I've actually done over 250 or so races because they don't have a lot of my races on here. Some of them don't show up. My Athlinks rank is top 14%, but I think it's actually should be a little higher than that. But it just shows there's a lot of people on Athlinks. But 2:31 and 1:10, and my 5K is like it should show it somewhere here. But basically, my 5K PR is like 15:42. 15:34 on the track, but I don't even know how you show other results. Okay, but my most recent results: California International from last month, 2:31:38. Flanagan's Rocking Rib Run in the rain and downpour, 34:27. Halloween Half Marathon I won in 1:15. Boston Marathon in October in 2:34. That's a nice little stretch right there from October all the way until December. 2:34, 1:15 in my backyard in the heat, 34:27 in a downpour. I wanted sub 33 and a very fast final marathon the day after my birthday. And before that, I did have some races this summer, but they don't show up. My summer race, I'll have to try to find it another day. It's a 4th of July 5K. I ran like 16:52 or 17:03. It was like my slowest time in years, and it just showed that I needed to work on my speed more and my stamina. I was in the middle of early summer training, and I got ready for Boston by going to Guatemala and training in the mountains there with Kobe Morales and the iRun team at Casa Adriana. So that got me super ready for Boston, and you can see that after Boston I was in good shape. A 1:15 by myself the whole race, and no one even challenged me the entire race, and I won the Halloween half in Miami Beach on October 30th. I signed up for it the day before the race, literally the day before I signed up for it. I will do the half, I decided, and that was about 20 days after Boston, and I won it. So that just showed I was in very good fitness. And then before that, I did a half last spring. We don't have seasons in Miami, but I call it the spring. Last winter, I did the Fort Lauderdale half marathon on February 14th. I got second place overall, second place male, 1:16:30. That was a hot day. Naples, okay, last year I ran 1:14:26. Now let's go back a year before that. I was running 1:14 flat in Naples the year of COVID. So 1:14 flat, 1:14:26 my last 2 years. Now if you go back and look at further years in the past, I ran a 1:14:41 in 2019. So 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row I've run 1:14 at Naples, okay? I can run, look, I got a 2:32 from CIM back in 2018. I got, got some fast 5K times back in this era. But Berlin Marathon, 2:37. I know I ran 2:32 there. 1:13 in Naples in 2018. So I had 3 1:14s, 1 1:13. What else do I have for Naples? I have Naples in 1:15. Okay, so I have 3 1:14s, 1 1:13, and 1 1:15:27 in 2017. I believe I have one more Naples. We got to load more races. Rock and Roll San Diego 1:12. That was a fast one, 1:12:17. That was my third fastest half marathon ever in super hilly San Diego. And Naples in 2015. No, 2014. 2014 I ran Naples for the first time in 1:11:38. So this was my fastest Naples ever. I was 12th place. First in my age group at the time, 35 to 39, and this, or 30, it might even been, this was 7 years ago, so regardless, 35 to 39. I was first age group, 12th overall, 5:28 average pace, 1:11:38. So that's my course record, is 1:11:38 in Naples. And this year, drum roll please, my goal is to run under 1:13, to run 1:12:50 or 1:12:40 or 1:12:30, to run in the 1:12s. That would be about 1.5 to 2 minute improvement on last year. And I think that's doable. And I think that that's something very realistic. If you look at the results from last year, I'll show you really quick. Last year's race. Well, this is a sign up for participant tracking for this year. So I'm going to show you guys. You can go on to their website, onto the Naples Half Marathon, and you can get athlete tracking via text message and email of any athletes that are running in the race. So I'm entering my phone number and my email, and I'm setting up athlete alert notifications, okay, for Brian Huberty. All right, so, and there's 1,382, and look at that, I just got an email. Run sign up, result notifications set up for the Barron Collier Company's Naples Half Marathon for Brian Huberty. This is athlete tracking. It looks like there's 1,382 athletes signed up at this point to run the half marathon. Okay, so we did that. Now let's look at results from last year. So the winner last year is Parker Stinson from Boulder, Colorado. Parker is one of the most talented marathon runners in the U.S., and he ran 1:03:33, and that was a 4:51 pace. Trying to figure out his age group. He's about 28. So, there were some other really great runners in the top 5. Seth Demore was number 5. I follow Seth on YouTube, Seth James Demore. He's got a great channel. He ran a 1:05:43 for 5th place, 5:01 average, and 1:05:43 for Seth. And then Lindsay Flanagan was a top female, and she was Lindsay Flanagan from Boulder. So both winners were from Boulder. Lindsay ran a 1:10.23, so just slightly faster than my PR. Now, if we put in the top 25 results, you'll see that I was like number 15 last year. I was number 16. I was 16th overall last year. Actually 17th. I was 17th overall, 16th male, and my time was 1:14.27. And I was second in Masters category. I had won Masters the year before with a 1:14 even. I ran 1:14.00 in 2020 to win the Masters and 40 over category. And last year in 2021, I got second master to Aubrey. I believe, yeah, Aubrey Aldi, who is a triathlete from Naples, and a really nice guy. And we ran the first half of the race together, and he ended up running a 1:13.20, and I ran a 1:14.12. So he finished about 52 seconds exactly ahead of me. And there was one other person between us, Clay Rice, who's in the age group. Actually, there were two people right between us. I ran a 1:14.27. Okay, so I was actually about a minute behind him. A minute behind Aubrey. I was 1 minute behind Aubrey. I don't know if Aubrey's competing this year, but I know Elliot Mason and Aubrey are my two main competitors, unless there's anyone else I don't know about who signed up, which there always could be. Naples is a world class in the sense that it attracts the best runners in the U.S. Might not attract world class talent, but it attracts national talent. I like to think of it as world class because for me, I feel like a professional athlete when I'm out there. I am a professional athlete competing out there. I've done it 7 times. I've always run under 1:15 or faster. And I've run 1:11 to 1:15, 7 times on that course, so 6 times. So this year I'm going for a sub 1:13. So last year that would have gotten me 12th place. 1:13 got 12th place. Jonathan Werble, who's actually my friend, who I train with. So Jonathan is much faster than 1:13. He's putting together more and more halves and fulls. I think he just ran a 1:10 he just ran a 1:10 recently. So in Ohio or Cincinnati, I forget the exact city, but Jonathan Werble ran it last year and had a decent race, but he can run 3 or 4 minutes faster than that. So I'm going for top master this year and sub 1:13, and that's going to be a goal pace of about 5:30, 5:32 per mile. And so I'll need to just make sure that I get a good start, which is never a problem. First mile is always easy to throw the gas on. I need to take a gel. Here's where I talk about race strategy, and we're going to look at the course. But first, I'll just show you last year. I think it shows you a couple stats really quick before I get into. You have not selected anyone to view results. Oh no, we selected Brian. Okay. 1:14.26, 5:41 pace last year, 16th place overall, 15th male, second master out of the top 3, and then it shows you your splits in the different parts of the course. Cove Lane, Fort Charles, Kingston, Galleon, and the finish. So I had a good pace in the beginning of the race, 5:33, and I was in 17th place. Wow, so I moved up. But I started out at a 5:33 pace. I went to 5:37 by 10K-ish, and by 40 minutes into the race, I was at 5:36, so I was hanging out in the 5:30s. At 50 minutes into the race, I was still at a 5:36 pace. Now you can see between minute 50 and an hour 15 or hour 14, that's 14 minutes. I lost about 5 seconds per mile. My pace dropped from 5:36 to 5:41. So that affected me. I did not have a very strong finish last year, but I still got second master and 16th overall, 1:14.26. Not a slow time at all. A really fast time for someone my age. But this year I'm going to go for 2 minutes faster for 1:12.30, 1:12.40, 1:12.50, and I will get there by starting out a little faster, 1 or 2 seconds faster, 5:31, 5:30 pace, and just hanging on. And this time I'm going to have more gels. I'm going to have a gel right before the race. I'm going to make sure that I'm super topped up on all of my sugars and fluids and salts, which I always do a really good job on. I did a good job at California and in Boston and in the Halloween half. I need to take more gels throughout the race. That's something I'm going to work on this race, is taking 2 gels during the half marathon. I'm going to take one at about mile 5, and then I'll take one at about mile 9, 5 and 9. And normally I would take one at mile 6 or 7, but I've been, I think that I need 2 gels. And if I don't need 2 gels, then I might not be able to give my all, because I've noticed that I still can push when I'm lower on sugar levels, but why not have your sugar levels topped off if you're feeling low? Why not preload, which is what a lot of the pros do. They preload before they even get anywhere near a dangerously low level, or even a low level or suboptimal level. You keep topping off your sugar so that you are always able to have all the neurological functions, all the muscular contractions, the ability to, add a gear on or push hard, the ability to throw a surge in. That's the stuff that you need sugar for. So, and caffeine too, and also mushrooms, which I talk a lot about with Live Ultimate, is the medicinal mushrooms and how they help me with athletic performance, with stamina, with oxygenation of my blood. Just like beets, in a similar way, cordyceps and other mushrooms are very good for athletes, and I've been using them for years. And I'll talk more about that in another video, but let's see. Here's the course map. Trying to show it to you guys without, it's weird that it's making it. Okay, so it starts right here in downtown Naples. It goes out to the west about a mile, or half a mile. It goes half a mile, takes a left. This is mile 1. This whole stretch here is like a straight shot down and back in a really fancy neighborhood with like mansions. This is the Gulf of Mexico right here. This is Naples. And let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. No. Okay, so you go south all the way down to right here in this neighborhood. You can't go any further because it's water. You turn around there. That's mile 4. So after doing that long drag, that's a long drag down through the fancy neighborhood of Naples with all these mansions. It's a really fast section. You do a turnaround right here in the neighborhood. Boom, you pop back out mile 4. Then check it out. You go up here to this neighborhood and you go into 3 different fingers. You go down here for finger 1 and you're at mile 6. Go back up, then you go over here. You're at mile 7 when you go up and down that finger. Then you go up here and you go down another super long finger to mile 8, 9, and 10, and then you leave the neighborhood and you're at mile 11. And at that point, when you leave the neighborhood, this is where you have to put on the gas. The M and F in gas is what the athletes do, myself included, is you push from here. Once you get out of that neighborhood, you push as hard as you can. Miles 11, 12, take a right, mile 13. You're coming through by a school. There's a priest on the corner here who blesses you with holy water. And then you finish right here, only about a quarter mile from the start. You finish at a park, Cambier County or something park. It's a beautiful park. That's where the post-race party is. They have a finish line there. And you come around this corner right here, and it's about 200 meters to the finish down this straightaway. And so you get you only get 200 meters or so to kick at the end. You can kick down this last stretch. I mean, you're kicking this last mile, you're kicking hard. And I'm looking at my watch, I'm doing calculations. So my goal is to run under 113. There's not much more to say. Thanks for your patience in this video. I think I got everything that I wanted to explain about Naples. I've run it, I guess, how many times now? 6 times. At least I've run 3 114s, 1 113, 1 115, and 1 111. So that's 6 times. So this Sunday I'm going to run my 7th Naples Half Marathon. I want to give a shout out to iRun. I've been training with them the last couple of weeks and months to get ready for the race. Kobe Morales has been giving us great workouts on Monday nights. Also Project 305 on Wednesday nights. I train with them. And that's my track club every Wednesday. It's a free group in Miami Beach from 7 to 9 p.m. And I also have been doing some training with Spencer West up in Broward and at Vista View with Luis Tovar and Michael Neely. I've also been running with Run Addict. A couple of months ago especially, I was getting in some good training before the marathon with them. They run on Saturday mornings and Tuesday mornings with Elliot Mason and Dan Martin and a couple other runners. So I'm getting in some good training. I was out at Vista View doing an 18-mile long run last week, or 16 miles I guess we got in, but I did double that day. I've been doing a lot of doubles lately, like 4 in the morning, 6 to 8 at night. I've been getting in about 3 days of speed work a week. Definitely getting a little faster and stronger. I've been doing warehouse work where I've been lifting cones all day. And actually I lifted like 600 cones one day off of a truck into a warehouse. So I got super strong from that. I'm still recovering from all that warehouse work. But overall, I'm ready to go for this weekend. I have a hotel on Saturday night in Naples. And I also am DJing Saturday at a pool party in Miami Beach before I leave. I was contracted. I have a gig to play. My third DJ event in the last 3 weeks, and I have another one the week afterwards. So I've been DJing a lot for hotels recently, and for New Year's Eve, and also for weekend pool parties. I've been getting booked to DJ. So if anyone ever needs a DJ, I am for hire, for birthdays, for any type of party, for weddings, anything, groups, events, parties, name it. Daytime, I prefer daytime, but festivals, I've played some festivals recently. But I'm excited. Yeah, I got some DJ gigs coming up. I've got Naples Half this weekend. Then I'm going to do, and I'll give you guys a video from Naples the day before on Saturday, and the next day afterwards, actually the race day, I will do a post-race video live. I'll do a live from Naples finish line from the park, and I'll let you guys know how I did and how the race went. That'll be exciting to share with you immediately when I'm done how it went. And there's going to be challenges. I know there's always challenges, and I'm just going to fight through them, and I'm not going to give up. And you just got to talk yourself out of any panicky spots and just finish that mile and keep running, and don't give up no matter what happens. Even if you get a cramp, even if something feels bad, you cannot give up. So if something goes catastrophically wrong, of course there's reasons, but I haven't had anything go catastrophically wrong in years. The worst thing that ever happens to me is a cramp. So or a bathroom issue, but those are very rare too. So I think I'm all set for Sunday. After this race this Sunday, I'm going to be doing the Tropical 5K at the end of January, the Miami Marathon weekend. I'll do the Tropical 5K. I love that race. I last did it 2 years ago, and I ran 15:58. My PR for the roads is from there, 15:42. I've won the race like 6 times. I think I got second place 2 years ago. I've won it a bunch, but that was back 5, 6 years ago, 4 years ago. I was winning it a bunch of years in a row. It was really fun. I'm going to race it again because it's so fast. I want to run under 16 minutes there. I think it's very possible. I think I can run a 15:55 right now. You heard it here first. I'm going to break 16 again as a 43-year-old. So you got to keep doing it. Otherwise, it doesn't get any easier. You got to do it every year. I'll do it next year too. And I'll do it when I'm 45. I'd like to do it when I'm 50. So I think it's possible. I think the human body can do that if you keep training and you stay healthy and you have smart nutrition and good healthy lifestyle. After Tropical 5K, I'm going to do the Woodlands Half Marathon on March 6th, which is in Woodlands, Texas. I was accepted into the elite field for the Woodlands Half Marathon. I'll go for a 1:12 there too, or a 1:11. So I have 2 half marathons coming up and a 5K in between. And then after Woodlands, there's a couple more races, but right now I haven't signed up quite yet. But I was looking at one just online a second ago. Rock and Roll San Diego is on my schedule. It's a half marathon. I did it in a 1:12:15 about 7 years ago. That's June 5th. So Rock and Roll San Diego is on my calendar as a possibility. Grandma's Marathon is on my calendar as a possibility. That's June 20th. Grandma's Marathon in Duluth, Minnesota, near Wisconsin. My family could come see me. We could have a nice weekend. And then I'm going to do Chicago Marathon most likely in October. And I'm going to do California International Marathon in Sacramento on my 44th birthday, December 4th, sorry. So that's it. That's what I got right now, guys. I am looking for more half marathons, more fast halves and fast 10Ks that I can do to stay sharp, especially stuff in Florida. Nick Simmons is in town. I'm going to go run with him tomorrow. That's going to be insane. Maybe I can do a live from the track in Fort Lauderdale. Nick Simmons is in town, and he's challenged all the local runners to come out. So I'm going to go check out what Nick Simmons is up to tomorrow, see if I can get a couple of my friends to tag along with me, and we'll probably get to run with Nick on the track. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Tuesday, January 11th, I'm going to try to give you updates as much as I can and let you know how things are going. My training's been going great. I didn't mention, but I've been doing about 60 to 65 miles a week for the last 2 weeks. Before that, I was doing about 30 or 40 miles a week after California International, and I had COVID for about 5 days, but I'm now 100% clear. My lungs are perfect. I was not bothered much by it at all. Just kept me out of training for about 4 days, but I did do light training that week, but nothing heavy, just like some really easy 3 to 4 milers. I only got in like 20 to 30 miles that week on like 3 days of running. But now I'm back. I'm training 7 days a week for the last 2 weeks, and I've been throwing down 60 to 65 miles a week. You know, sub 7 pace is pretty easy for 10 miles, even 13 miles. It's pretty easy to run a sub 7 pace and work the same day and do a lot of physical labor and just do doubles, and I've been training at a high level, I feel like, for the last 2 weeks, and I have California International Fitness in my legs at 231. So I'm excited for Naples this weekend. I'm going to run my best. I got a hotel room for the night before. I'm going to get there, get some good sleep, and I'm going to run a great race, going for that 112.50, 112.40, and I'm going to gun it. I'm gunning it from the start. And if anyone wants to run with me, just know I got some friends from Miami I know that are great runners that are going with. They could run under 115 also. But if anyone's running with me, just know my goal time's under 113, and I'm holding a steady sub 532, maybe 530, maybe 529 pace, 530 pace for 13.1. And that's the goal. So I'm going to go as hard as I can the entire race, and at 530 pace, and I'm going to hold on, and I'm going to do this. I'm excited for Naples, guys. It's one of my favorite races of the year. I can't hype it enough. I love this race. I love the city. I love the competition. I love the atmosphere. It's an old school, interesting type of old school race where it's like the race director and all the people there are so friendly. It's not like these big city ones where it's like you get lost in all the corporate madness of the race and all the marketing. No, this is a really legit hometown feel. You drink some beers in the park afterwards. They have beer. They have a post-race party. In years before COVID, they give out checks for the top runners. They give out a lot of cash money. So that's exciting too. Top Masters is $750. Second place is $500, and third is $250. So you know I'm going for that too, for the Top Masters. That's a nice payday. So, but the money is just a secondary byproduct of the love I feel for the sport, which will always be the driving factor and what makes me want to do this, not the money. I would do it for free, and I do it for free every day. But hey, if they want to pay us some money, I'll take the money too. And I'll take it because I'll earn it. I'm the hungriest. I want it the most. All right, guys. I'll talk to you at the race on Sunday. Have a great week. Hope to see you soon. Happy early January. Get out there and get after your goals, everyone. There's no better time than today to get started.